Bitcoin's looking more bearish than it has in over 2 months. This morning we broke down a 65-day uptrend and crashed 3%. In today's video, I'm going to talk about what kind of levels we're going to see next, how you can spot the bounce, and the effects of the recent FOMC meeting. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Jess, and as the channel name suggests, it's all about crypto, trading, and technical analysis. So if you're all about that or you'd love to learn, please like the video and subscribe down below. Alright, so jumping straight into the charts, guys. This is a 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, and I've mapped out those two trend lines that I just talked about. So this is our 9-day trend line, downtrend, and this is our 65-day uptrend. So we've been in this since the middle of October, and if you guys followed along on my Telegram, you guys would be able to see that before we broke below this, I did say that we were in a huge decision point right now. We had a short time frame downtrend right after our recent local high, and it was converging with our 65-day uptrend. So the big question was, who was going to take control? Was it the bulls or the bears? So evidently it was the bears, and we did break down, and this is our 3% crash that we saw today. Started about here. There we go. So 2.6%, 3.03%. So, I mean, it's not exact, but 3%. And so obviously the big question now is, where are we going to go next? Okay, so well, the first and easiest way to answer that question is, where are our levels of macro support that we're sitting above right now? And that is 38 to 40k. So I've zoomed out to a weekly chart here so you can kind of see a little bit more of the price action. And this line here, this green box, is our major level of macro support for right now. We just broke above this recently, and it is going to hopefully hold strong. If it does not, our next level of macro support is at 32k, and that converges with our major macro uptrend. So this uptrend, we've been in this whole accumulation phase of this part of the cycle in Bitcoin, and that started in November, October, December, that kind of area. I can't really remember, of 2022. So it's been about a year, and that trend line converges with around $32,000. So that would be a huge level of support for us, because not only do we have a structural support, but also a horizontal level as well. So those are the two main levels of macro support that I'd be looking for a bounce. But you know, there are still short time frame supports before this 40k level, and we might see a bounce there. Who knows? Let's have a quick look at a 1-hour chart and see if we can see some signs of reversal. So let's zoom in a little bit. This is our momentum here, and that's our volume. So this is our downtrend for momentum right now. If you go into a 4-hour chart, you can see a bigger one, but for now, let's just have a look at this. And this is our volume. Both are very negative. We are not seeing any signs of reversal here on a 1-hour chart. It's still looking pretty bearish. It looks like we're trying to find support around this level here, 41,000. But it's struggling to break over this level of new resistance, short time frame resistance that we founded at 41,200. So until we break above that level here and probably like do an hourly or 4-hour close above this level, I would say that we haven't really found support just yet. That might just be a little bit of consolidation before we continue downwards. And our next level of short time frame support will be at 40,500. And those are the two levels, as of right now, price may develop, before our $40,000 support, sorry. And I don't think that's really like impossible. To drop from here to there would only be about 2.5%, and to 38,000 would only see like a 7% drop, which is pretty big for Bitcoin, but it's not outlandish. Okay, so now that we know what kind of levels that we're looking at for, obviously the next big ticket question is, how are we going to spot the bounce? So for me, what I would personally look for, I'm on a 4-hour chart right now, so on a 4-hour chart, I would look for a hold, like a candle close above a horizontal level of support. So, and not I only ever look for horizontal levels of support. So they're my trend lines, but they don't really hold true because price doesn't move diagonally, it moves up and down, right? So I would look for a close on a horizontal support, as well as for example, a break of this downtrend in momentum. So once we see a momentum flip, we know that money's coming into the market, people are loading in longs again, and the price is going upwards, it's gaining momentum upwards. Same with volume. I'd like to see a volume flip to know for sure that money's coming in again, and we're going to see a trend flip. Sometimes these things preempt the movement of the actual price. And sometimes they come after, so we'll just have to watch out for which one comes first, as well as these moving averages. So this is market cipher A. Mine's kind of customized, so it has the 50 in it just for like the 50-day moving average. But if it found support above these moving averages and continued upwards or held at these levels, I would know that potentially we might be seeing some signs of reversal as well. But like I said, everything that I just noted, that is a sign of potential reversal. We don't have any confirmation of an actual bounce until we've developed a new trend line. So we've broken this trend line now. What we'd be looking for is to see a development of a new uptrend. And until then, this downtrend continues and it remains strong, then we'll continue to see what we can expect is continued downwards movement, right? If that's the current trend line. So that is what I would be looking for. Let's have a look and see if we can see any on a short time frame. I mean, actually a minute's not really any point because by the time this video is out, it'll be too late. Yes, so for example, on a 5-minute chart, broke below this level of horizontal support, right? And then we started to maybe lose a little bit of that bearish strength. Tried to find some support again, came above this $41,000 level, but obviously this whole level here is a range of support and resistance, right? So we have to sit above it. So we broke above this bottom level of support here at 41,000. Tried to find support upon our moving averages as well, but unfortunately rejected upon 41,200, which is the top of this support range. And so we broke below and we're going down a little bit more, broke below our 50, the market cipher A moving averages as well. Volume, it was a very, very small spike in positive volume. Momentum as well. Let's have, oopsies, come back. Let's get rid of this trend line just so I can. So this is our uptrend that we formed on a 5-minute chart, and we broke below that uptrend. Sorry, this is a really, really bad uptrend. There we go. So we saw 2 peaks here, and the second peak was lower. So even though we were retesting again, our momentum was going down. So we eventually rejected. So that's kind of like price action that we're looking out for. So on a 4-hour or a 1-hour time frame, I'd be looking for what we didn't see, basically. So a close above a level of support and that moving average and a sustained break of a downtrend, a momentum downtrend, and a positive volume flip. Those are the things I would look for in a bounce. So that's everything I wanted to cover on the short time frame price action of Bitcoin. Let's really quickly go over the events of the recent FOMC meeting, the outcome, and what it means for the macro price of Bitcoin. Okay, so on 14th of December, we saw the end of the recent FOMC meeting, which is essentially... No, I'm not gonna explain it actually. I don't think I can explain it and give it justice without sounding stupid. But basically, it's a meeting where the interest rates are decided on. And the end of the meeting essentially concluded that by the end of next year, we would get a 25 basis point cut or otherwise 4.6% drop in the interest rate or the federal cash rate. And if you don't know what that means, I don't know what it means actually. All I know is that it's good for the market because, okay, so hear me out. It's weird because I know charts, but I don't really have the background knowledge. I'm not a finance bro. Anyways, well, this is the US dollar index. So this is the strength of the US dollar. You can see that as soon as that news came out on the 14th of December, we had a 1.2% drop in the US dollar. Pretty much continuation of the current downtrend that we've been in ever since the interest rate hike pause. So ever since we kind of stopped increasing our interest rates, we saw, this development of this downtrend here that we're seeing. And if you have a look at risk assets like stock market, so this is S&P 500, this is the effects of the news on that day. So we had a 1.47% increase in S&P 500. Again, that downtrend that we've been seeing, we're seeing an uptrend here. So it's inversely correlated, if you will, naturally, obviously. If the US dollar goes down, price of assets goes up, right? And if you have a look at Bitcoin, it's a bit hard to see that circle, but we had a 2.3% hike in Bitcoin price upon the release of that news. So overall, despite the fact that short time frame, we're not looking very good. We broke a 65-day downtrend. Don't know when the bounce is going to be. We could retest 38, 40, we might even retest 32. Who knows? Regardless, that is pretty positive for the asset market. So that is why I'm still pretty certain that we will see a bull market. If you have a look at the last rate cut that we had, it was all the way back in 2020. And what happened in 2020? We had a bull market. So things are kind of starting to line up a little bit. We're in macro uptrends. We're, approaching our macro levels of resistance at 48K. If we break that, that would be golden. Might see that day cap bounce drop that I talked about in my previous video. So if you want to go hear about that, go check that out. Otherwise, things are still looking pretty positive despite this, short time frame movement. But hey, that's good. Volatility just means more trading. So, nothing's really bad. Okay guys, I think I'm going to call the video there for today. If you guys learned something or you like the video, don't forget to like the video down below and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I'm going to pop in my links for TradingView, which is where I do all my charting, as well as Bitget and BingX, which is where I do my trading. If you guys want 15% off, feel free to sign up down below. And that's everything from me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!